What's up, H-Town and all around? Dynamic Foxtrot OSG. We're here. We're in Austin. We're not far from home, as y'all friggin' know. Whatever. Give us a shit.
Again, man.
In Austin again. Back-to-back weekends. So, like, I hadn't even taken the damn thing off my bag yet. But here the boys are walking out right now, getting ready for the game. We're 5 minutes from the start. National anthems are coming. Andres, we are here. We are watching Dose. This is the start of a Foxtrot Gameday tonight in Austin with the Dose playing Austin 2. And then tomorrow, Dynamo versus SKC, a rivalry, old school rivalry days, man. All right, let's start tonight. What you looking forward to most?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to like a very energetic game. This Dose team, like we've seen all year long, they've been very strong, still battling for a top 3 spot in the conference.
Number 4 right now.
Number 4, yeah, but they get to go up to 3. But yeah, I feel like Austin, like even though they've been a little bit slouchy this year, it can still be an interesting game. And of course, Korea is one of the players to keep an eye on, and also we can probably pause it here.
Yeah, no, we're okay. We're actually y'all get to listen. We're gonna stay here. That's what's up, y'all. That's what's up. So hey, you mentioned Enrique Correa. Hey, you know what? I want to bring somebody in here. No, you're here, bro. You're here. Hey, so we are Austin TV's about to step in. Hernan about to step in and give us a piece of the mind from the Austin side of things, bro. Get in here in the middle. Good to see you. Been a long time. Nice. Man, good to see you, bro. Hernan. All right, bro. We were just talking. We just met in a couple weeks ago here in Austin. Y'all won the Open Cup game, but now here we are for Dose. We're doing well. Y'all are trying to work your way up. Fadri has moved up for the first team for your special talents not here right now. What is Austin bringing us tonight? What are we expecting in this game tonight?
Well, being real, this is an Austin FC 2 that hasn't had the best season, right? They are in a position where they are struggling, right? But one of the things that they have tonight is they're at home, right? They are here in front of their fans. But a game between Houston and Austin, it's always well contested, right? I think this is a game that both teams obviously don't want to lose because of the derby things that go into it or whatnot. But what Austin FC has tonight is Pedro Cruz, right? He's probably their main attacking threat, Irish young striker. He has 3 goals, leading scorer, not that high, which tells you a lot about the offensive output,
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
But hey, keep an eye on the Irish striker, Pedro Cruz. Also, one thing to note tonight, Austin FC 2 will be without Antonio Gomez, a pillar in the back. He was called up for the first team on one of those short-term loans that they do.
Okay, yeah.
He was called up. He will not be here. Captain Nico will be by himself without his usual partner, Antonio Gomez.
So that's good news for us. And we've never won here in Austin, so we need everything that you're going to give us tonight.
Yes.
All right, so you got a prediction. What do you want to tell us?
I'm going to go with a Austin FC 2-1.
2-1.
Pedro Cruz gets a goal, and also Jorge Alastoy gets a goal tonight.
All right, what numbers are we looking for the guys you just...
Pedro Cruz, number 9, and Jorge, watch out for number 10.
Number 9, a defender number 10?
No. Forward, number 9, Pedro Cruz.
Yeah.
And in the back, Nico, he is a center back. I believe he's number 4 or number 3, but Jorge Alastoy, he's number 10.
All right, y'all heard it right here from Hernan. We are Austin TV. We're gonna keep an eye out. We're gonna give it all we can.
By the way, Jorge, number 10.
Yeah.
Barcelona Academy product. La Masia.
All right.
Ooh, we got some foot movement coming on. Hey, prospects are always fun to watch. All right. Now, Hernan, appreciate it, brother. Y'all got it. We are Austin TV right there. Y'all follow. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Till the whistle blows. All right, back at it, man. Like we said, we're gonna highlight Enrique Correa, a young kid that's been highlighted past couple of matches for the team. Joined the team not at the start, but later on, and so we kind of put him on the game day edit today. And I'm hoping he's an attacking piece. He scored 2 goals already, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I want to highlight him in the attack. He's Batioja, Arzu. It's
Boma,
nice that Boma as well, who's also new as well. So it's nice to see these same players growing more behind the captain, Sebastian Rodriguez.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm gonna keep saying is Diego Gonzalez, man. I wish he was here because the attack would have been incredible. But we still have a pretty good offensive line here, and like as long as everyone's just able to find that connection, or just like keep up the momentum, I feel like they can create a lot of damage, and I feel like it's gonna be a high-scoring game.
I'm looking forward to a high-scoring game. I'm looking forward to a fun game. We'll see how it goes. It is turf. We'll have fun here. We're gonna hang out with some buddies here. We're going to go meet some parents from the Dynamo fans during the game, and we have kickoff. So I think it's time for us to sit back down and review the game, right?
Okay.
All right, y'all, H is up. I'm going to show y'all some game, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yep. Yeah, that's possible if you want to take it.
As a result, space in the midfield has opened up for them to exercise some of that fluidity that they're so known for. Correa steers this in, bouncing around toward goal, tapped home in front. Houston Dynamo 2 have pulled one back in the second half, 1-1.
We don't know who scored, how it happened, or what happened, but the ball ended up in the
Might
net.
have been Wakatuya, but yeah, it looked pretty weird. Might have been an own goal too.
Debut announced today, debut same day.
All right, potentially last kick. Pedro Cruz. Let's see. Yes, sir!
Game.
Ball game.
Not a regulation win, but
Ball
first
game.
dub in Austin.
2 saves to take the extra point. Yes, sir.
All right, what's up, y'all? End of the game. We're at Palmer Field. Obviously, as we told you before, 1-1 draw in regulation. We go to PKs. We get the win. Pedro Cruz, player of the match, with 2 saves in the penalty kick situation. Penalty kickers didn't miss. They made their 4, put Austin under pressure. Our first more than 0 points coming in Austin. That's our first no regulation victories yet, but our first 2 points here in Austin.
Yes.
So I'll take every bit of it. But so we'll give me your impressions on the game before we get to PKs.
I want to start with the negatives because those, and because they had a great start of the game in the first half. Like probably in the first 10 to 15 minutes, I felt like they had a pretty good chance of getting ahead in the game. And offensively speaking, they looked like they were they were able. It looked like they were able to like get momentum of the game in their favor and also try to get something going. But after 20 minutes, it felt like it was all Austin, and eventually that's how they got the lead to before the first half ended. And really, like in the first half and like a good chunk of the second half, it really looked like Houston was just like getting outpossessed, in some occasions getting outpaced and getting caught flat-footed, especially when it comes to like those deep through balls that come in, like especially like, either on the left side.
Even as you mentioned, they look like their passes just weren't key, and and they weren't being pressed into bad passes. They were just making bad passes.
Yeah, and they were making bad passes. The turnovers were not great either, and it gave a lot of opportunities for Austin to like put the game away very early. I guess the good news is that they were only able to get 1 goal in, and man, that goal by Wakatuya, I feel like it was big because it changed momentum slightly, and it was counted as an own goal. I feel like Wakatuya was. I say Wakatuya.
He forced it in.
Yeah. He forced it in, and of course, the Austin defender has to like move in to do something about it. But we got the own goal. The game will end in regulation 1-1, which is definitely nice because, like, you can also say, like, towards the end, the last 10 minutes or so, Houston started clicking offensively, and yeah, like overall, and into the penalty shootout and all that, like Pedro Cruz, man, that was 2 massive saves to put the game away.
Pedro Cruz. I called him player of the match as we talked to him after the match. As you'll see here in a few moments, you'll get to hear the Pedro Cruz interview. We'll put subtitles down there for you non-Spanish speaking. But
yeah,
man of the match, he answered in Spanish, so I didn't technically get to understand his complete answer. Don't worry, that's all right. Security's all good. Security's all good. No, it's all good. It's all good. You're good, brother. It's all good. Security's allowed. Security's the only ones allowed. All right. Hey, but so... As I said, Pedro, what did he tell us in the interview after the game? I asked him about the pressure. What did the team say? How they build him up? He's done penalty kicks before, but he made it through. He stopped two PKs to get the dub.
The good news is I do understand a little bit of Portuguese, and I was able to just really read his energy because he looked very inspired, like after just making 2 massive saves, and these are not like saves you have to like stand up and grab the ball. Like he literally dove for those saves, and the way that he was just like expressing himself, I was able to pick up a few words that he said. Like he believes in the team more than anything, like the passion they bring in, and he also like hopes for like these type of big moments because it's not 3 points unfortunately, but at the end of the day, 2 points, which you can help out along the way.
2 points is better than none.
It feels like a win, but
no, it don't feel like a win.
I wish it was 3 points, though.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be a good bus ride home now because you did get the 2 points. You salvaged the points because you didn't play like you deserved any points tonight. Austin did look like the better team. They put the pressure on. They had a couple crosses across the box where they didn't follow through, and they could have put the ball in the net. They had one where they missed it. It was just right there in front of the net, and they didn't control it. So Austin technically could have won this game today and should have won this game and should be going home with 3 points, but as Coach said, as you'll hear here shortly in as well, and not the head coach, we went with a different coach tonight. So surprise, yeah. I'll let y'all lead into it and find out who we were talking to. But thank you, sir. You know this man's always smiling. So what he told us, it was the belief in the players that kept them in the match because we asked what was going on with where their focus was, their mentality was. It felt like they were missing that part of in the aspect of the game today, and he just said you just had to tell them to believe in themselves and continue through the game. And I think that's kind of what held them together. And you have Captain Sebastian Rodriguez leading the team. Not very loud out there. I can't hear him, but he probably is talking to him. I hear Pedro a lot, but so Sebastian. Louder, brother. Louder.
Speak up.
Yeah. Speak up so I can hear you. Like that, my captain. Yeah, that's who we were yelling at, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously, going back to the locker room. But, all right. So final thoughts. We get the dub. We get the 2 points. The coach speaks about the team. I like what they're being told. I like what they're being coached.
Overall, I'm definitely pleased with this type of result. Obviously, the end goal is always a win here. But I always believe that having the players being part of these type of situations, like the situations where you have to come here and come back from a loss and to turn it into points, it's always going to be great. And as a coach, that's the type of things you want to look out for always, and just the drive of the players really. And yeah, that's definitely what I have to say about this game, because at the end of the day, it wasn't a win, but the players that want to be here, that want to play, they're here, and they're gonna work their ass off to get the result.
Their little or high school ass. They are the youngest team in the Next Pro for 2 years in a row now. This is a young team. These kids are graduating or still in high school. Not technically. Hernan, take it easy, brother. Love you as always. They're homeschooled, but they're still in high school. They're still learning. They're still being pressured. They still have practice 5 days a week. They're still traveling. Houston's not small, so half these kids you don't tell them where they coming from to play for this team, but they're doing it. They're putting the numbers in. They're enjoying that bus. They're traveling all over the country. They're playing they're professionals. They're technically professionals, and these are friggin' kids over there getting on the bus. So that's my favorite part about watching these games and going to these games. But Andreas, I think these people want to get to the interview process of after this game, the mixed zone, we'll call it, and then we have a big day tomorrow in Houston for SKC versus Houston. We're starting with the Tailgate at Dynamo headquarters, and we'll move on from there. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. You too, man. So, like I said, SKC, Tailgate. We're here in Austin right now. We'll be in Houston tomorrow for the Tailgate, but what are we looking for tomorrow before we let these guys know about game day tomorrow?
Man, the one thing I want to say is we always appreciate you, and we thank you for your support. Thank you for 300 subs on YouTube, and man, we got a lot of surprises coming, so you better stay tuned because you don't know where you're gonna get. Like I did. Yep. I may or may not have dropped a hint in the last Noodle Time. I don't know. You have to check it out. But
episode 141,
probably. And yeah, like we do appreciate you guys.
All right, well, y'all heard it from us. We're at Palmer Field in Austin. Well, a little bit north of Austin, technically. We're here. We saw Dose win 2-1 in PKs, get those 2 points, and Austin gets to, I guess, stay home crying and getting that 1 point. They're disappointed. So it's not going to be a long bus ride home for them. But, guys, as we said, I guess we're going to go home in our little short drive, have a little rest. I will get up in the morning and head to Houston. We got a UCL Champions League match to watch tomorrow before the Tailgate starts. So we'll be doing that. But any other words, any last things you want to tell the people?
Man, we need a Dynamo dub tomorrow.
Down a dub against SKC, old school rivals. So this one's going to be big. We are wearing orange tomorrow. I want to see you in the stadium, please, or see you at the Tailgate. We do more tailgates, so just follow us on socials. You know where they're at. We tell you at the end of every friggin' everything. So follow us. You know what's up. It's right there as well. So check us out. YouTube, Foxtrot TV, Instagram, Ko-Fi, everywhere, anywhere. It's Foxtrot right there.
Always.
All right. Where H is up. Peace, yo. Let's do it.
Pedro, congrats on the performance.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. Pedro Cruz, congratulations on the performance tonight. What do you have to say for this team that, despite a pretty poor showing in the first half, and just going back into the second half to tie up the game, and you showing out in the penalty shootout, what are your first thoughts?
Boa noite a todos. Cara, o jogo foi um jogo muito difícil, contra uma equipe muito difícil. A gente veio aqui com o objetivo de sair vencedor da partida. Claro que a gente encontrou muitas dificuldades na partida, porém é um clássico aqui nos Estados Unidos, no Texas também. E graças a Deus a gente conseguiu sair com os 2 pontos, que já vai ajudar muita gente. E eu fui muito feliz hoje, nessa noite, assim como todos os meus companheiros também foram. Não só eu fui bem, mas como meus companheiros também foram.
Perfect. And one more thing, what I have to say for a great start to the season. Of course, right now you're battling for the top 3 spot in the conference. What do you have to say after this performance and after getting the extra point? What do you have to say to get this team motivated?
Cara, minha motivação, ela não é só desses jogos, não só dos jogos da sequência do campeonato, mas ela vem desde mim. Sempre fui um cara muito motivado, muito trabalhador, e eu não estou aqui para perder, para sair perdedor, para perder a partida, e agora é seguir, é dar sequência no trabalho do Marcelo. Vem me ajudando bastante também, ele já está aqui há muito tempo, então isso aí vai me ajudar muito. Então hoje, graças a Deus, eu fui muito feliz.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Pedro, one last question, man. Our man of the match, for sure, tonight. Man of the match. Tough game today. Defense was kind of didn't put you in any bad situation, but penalty kicks, I'm sure you're used to penalty kicks, the pressure. We've never won here before. We're taking the 2 points home tonight. Was there any extra pressure? What did the boys tell you before you went in the net going into that PKs?
Cara, eu conversei muito com os jogadores durante os pênaltis. Falei pra gente manter a calma, que se fosse da vontade de Deus a gente ia sair vencedor da partida. E graças a Deus saiu tudo como planejado. Os garotos também têm uma mentalidade boa. São muito bons, são jogadores muito bons. Só precisam amadurecer mais um pouco, mas são muito bons. E isso é com o tempo, é o processo da vida, assim como eu também tive meu processo da vida. E sobre os pênaltis, eu sou um cara que, na minha carreira também, eu já peguei muitos pênaltis, já fui muito vitorioso em relação a isso. E sempre também gostei de decidir as partidas, e é para isso que eu tô aqui.
Good job, man.
Thank you, Pedro.
Sir, good job, sir.
Thank you. Obrigado.
First off, impressions on the game. First time getting an actual dub in Austin.
Yeah, the impression is like, it's proud of the players, They got to dig deep. It's not an easy place to come and play. So there was a lot of character, The goal that we scored, it was scrappy. But, at the end of the day, we scored a goal and it brought it to PKs. And, from there, it was about getting, 2 or 1 point,
It felt like a lot of the focus mentality was missing throughout the game, where the passes just weren't there. The maybe it was just a little lackadaisical. What did y'all do to get them to push through and hold on to the rest of that game?
Yeah, it's just about belief. The players, they work hard. We're a young team, so the mistakes is natural. It's going to happen, and they're going to learn from it. And what you saw in the second half, they learned from their mistake. And we can't just emphasize how proud we are of how everyone stepped up towards the end, and just to pull 2 points here.
And segue, one last one for me is Pedro Cruz in the goal, stepped up, saved 2 to secure our win, showed out really good. We asked him about the pressure being under PKs and what the team was giving him motivation. Tell me about the pressure and Pedro Cruz behind the net right there.
I always talk about this every time Pedro comes up. It's been just a pleasure working with him. He loves goalkeeping. He eats and sleeps goalkeeping. And the thing that's special about him, he enjoys making saves. So when the pressure comes, he wants it, and he's such a humble goalkeeper, but he's very competitive, and he'll do whatever it takes to make saves for the team and keep the team in games, and he's been doing that all season. So again, Pedro, let's keep doing the work you've been doing, and we're proud of you, and we're just going to continue to go. We're not satisfied. We're just going to keep going and just try to get better every day.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Nice. Yeah. And one last question. Do you guys do like some sort of special training for penalties? Of course, having the second point in MLS Next Pro, it's big, especially when it comes to like playoff races towards the end of the season and all that. Do you guys do something similar, or is it more so goalkeeper work and then players get to shoot around?
No, like again, we work hard every day, in set pieces, and PK is a part of that. We try to have fun with it. A lot of people see goalkeeping as a pressure. No, it's not pressure, it's fun. Goalkeepers should love these moments, And again, Pedro is one of those goalkeepers. Like in training, I have to pull him out the goal at times, because he want to take PKs over PKs after PKs, and again, he just enjoy making saves. So the work has been done in training, and what we're seeing on the field is just all hard work, behind the scene.
Perfect.
Remarkable from him, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Pleasure, respect.
Hey, have a safe trip home.
Always.
Yes, sir.
This year, a little bit lower on that side, but seemingly getting to start the game with the bulk of possession.
Linger busting it on the overlapping run. He gets it from Kowalczyk, and now matched up 1v1 with Kyrie Shelton. Great skill to get out of the pressure. Kowalczyk looking for the corner. Oh my! An absolute stunner from the 26-year-old for his first of the season, and it's an early Dynamo lead.
Let's see the replay. Another banger alert. Vamos! Hey, how was it?
Fucking phenomenal. Let's go. Golazo, papá, golazo! Go! Christian! And you too, I guess. Ay, 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 ay.
All right, everyone. Head coach Ben Olsen. Ben, just thoughts on that result, maybe reflection on the month of May as a whole.
Yeah, a lot going on in that game, and you know, on one side it's okay. We have 22 shots, 9 on target. Some of those on target were really good opportunities. A bunch of corners, crosses. You know, certainly should be scoring more with the chances that we had. So, and it's been a pretty good month overall, and we've played more games than basically anybody else in the league over the course of this month. So there's that side. And we're tired, and we're taking red eyes 2 days ago against New York. They didn't have a Wednesday game. That's the third time this month we've played a team that has not had a Wednesday game. So I don't understand the scheduling part in a month like this. So we look tired. We look tired. And even the guys that we rested for about 25 minutes, we look sharp. And then we started to get gas, and a combination of gas and complacency. I can deal with the being gassed, not the complacency side. And that's the other part of this, is that we don't have the luxury to you know, have these stretches after we score a goal for 20, 25 minutes where we're not pressing at the right speed. We're making poor decisions in the offensive end. We're going for broke every time rather than having long possessions, and just kind of, you know, silly decisions that end up leading to, I think, a large portion of that second half not being acceptable. Second half, we come out, they hit a set piece. Again, not a real great structure from us, and some failed responsibilities, so we'll deal with that. And then we have a lot of joy, as you would expect, at home, and a lot of opportunities that we didn't score. So that's about my synopsis, but you guys can go a little deeper if you want.
Start with Dustin here in the middle.
Hey, Ben, I don't know if going too deep, but just Ponce had a couple chances at that one in the 3rd minute where his header was right at Postgame, and then Jovalic, he takes their 2 chances. They're really just down to the DP strikers, and they're taking their chances.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stand by my our number 9. You know, he's scoring goals. He's putting himself in the right spot, and forwards every now and then have a game where a keeper plays big or we don't see some plays out. It's normal. Jovalic is a very good striker, and he saw his plays out. So yeah, these games always come down to moments. We just had a lot of moments, and 22 shots, and again, a lot of those I thought were high percentage shots. We just got to see that out, and we didn't, and it cost us.
Let's get without the question, Mike. We'll just, you go. Keep going.
And I know you talked about after this, the guys getting away, they don't want to see your face and hear you, especially after this result. How important is that for this next week, you guys to just get some time off and unplug, basically?
Yeah, it's been a grind. The month has been a grind. It's not an excuse. We rested enough guys. We put a fresh team out there to get that result today, in particular at home. And it pisses me off. We lost another home game. Yeah. But to answer your question, yeah, it'll be nice to step away for all of them. They by and large, they did a great job this May, picking up points. In particular, and I've said this so many times, how much transition that has been going on with our group. Femi and Pablo, it's the 2nd time they've played together. Felipe's in there. Now Dwayne Holmes is factoring in. Lingy played the 10 for the first time with Ponce for long stretches. So overall, I'm pleased with May. This is a little bit of a sour note that it ends this way. But it'll be nice for these guys to recharge. But we need to work. We need to get back and work because of those transitions. And we are not well-oiled right now because we haven't had training sessions. And these guys have been learning in real time in games. So we got to get back to teaching our principles and who we are, and just again getting back to really hard training sessions and competing. I don't know our starting lineup right now, right? We got a lot of good players, and we got to compete, and we got to find out what our best group is, but that's what this next 2 weeks will be about.
And Lawrence comes back from his injury. I don't know if you wanted to play him. You guys went down, but just.
Yeah, we wanted to play him, but he's capped at, there's certain minute restrictions, and I thought there'd be a little bit more stoppage time than that, so we were a little bit cautious with him. But, you could see what he brings to us and what a miss that has been, I think, in some ways this season so far. A guy with real juice and speed, and even in that short amount of time, he gets end line once or twice, and just is a very good player. And so it'll be nice to build him up into this and see where he fits in. And same with Dwayne Holmes. We just gotta, but a lot of new faces, a lot of transitions. This is about picking up points, and over the course of May, we're moving in the right direction.
All right, we'll go to Samara.
Hey, Coach. So on that Andrej sub, was that because of exhaustion, or was it just tactic?
He just looked tired to me. That's all I could say. He's a guy who won on the field, and again, it was just a decision of I just didn't see him having the impact in the game that we needed in that moment. So I thought Amin actually came in and did a good job and got us more possession, and but also coincided with the second goal where they were sitting. So we've had excuses. I can go into, we got sickness all over. Everybody's sick. Everybody's been traveling. We're red-eyed. We can go into that world, right? And you just don't know how it's affecting everybody. So really, you're taking a temperature every day, and I'm just watching the game. I'm just watching the game to see who looks good and who doesn't, and you try to manage it, and you try to mix lineups up, and There's a lot to it, and sometimes it's just a matter of it's a long month, and some guys aren't at their best.
David.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned it, right? And, the fitness, how are guys looking, today, and now he comes back. Is there an update on Nelson or Eric Sviatchenko?
They'll be ready when they're ready. I don't know. I've done asking about them. I deal with the players that are, available, and at some point we'll be, Eric will be back in the fold, and Nelson is tricky. This is a tricky injury. It is a total knee, and Nolly's was more straightforward, and that's why he's back. And Nelson, he's working as hard as he can, but we think he'll get there, but it's just a more difficult road.
And then earlier in the season, right, to the future, right, you told us that things would change, right? A good month of May, like you said, a good unbeaten streak. Unfortunately, he was broken today in MLS League play. But, what do you see after this break? You predicted that it would change, so what will you predict in your eyes?
Well, I've talked about kind of where I see this season going. And the important thing is we just build. We just keep building and getting better. And as I said, now that we're through May, we have training sessions. It's about really fine-tuning, finding out, competing and having some tension on who's our best 11, and getting back to teaching and showing these guys who we are and what our principles are to be more well-oiled. Because we got some, again, when you have this many games and you're moving all the players in and out, and you have new players that are arriving, 4 or 5 guys in May, it's tricky. It's tricky. So with all the moving parts, I think we did a pretty good job during this time. But now it's about fine-tuning that part. Okay, we have everybody now. We know who we are. We have a better feel for who these players are and what they offer us. Now it's about us as coaches working with them, putting this puzzle together, putting our best team out there, and continuing to grow. And then summer comes, the transfer window comes, and then we decide, what's going to take us over the top to continue to grow and pour a little bit of fuel on this team. So that's how I view it.
Any other questions? Nope. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Ben. Take it away. All right, everyone. Sebastian Kowalczyk. Sebastian, to open up, there's your thoughts on that result at home, but also your goal there in the first half.
Yeah, I'm for sure happy with this goal. I think it was one of the most beautiful in my career, but in the end, gives us nothing. So the feelings are so. It was a big opportunity to jump higher in the table. This month was pretty busy, and overall I think was not bad. Before this month we were in the one of the last places in the table. So after last game in New York, we achieved the playoff spot, and this is the target for this season, to be minimum in the playoffs. So today was another opportunity to prove that this is our place. But yeah, we angry, we are disappointed, because I think I'm right that we are better than our opponents today. But the result doesn't show it, and this is what makes me painful the most.
Hey, you talked about it a little bit, but a lot of games for you guys this month. Now you have some time off. How important is that for you guys, especially after this loss, to kind of reset?
After the losing game, I prefer to play immediately the next game and win the next game. But yeah, now we have some 3 days. Now we have some time to rest. As I said, it was a busy month, so It's good to have some days off, rest, and and we're gonna use this time without the game for improve ourselves in many how to say, in many ways. As I said before, we want to play in playoffs, and this is the target. This is the most important. So we're gonna do everything to make it happen. You know.
We saw Linger kind of play more as a 10 today in the middle. You kind of played off the left. How was that dynamic for you, and how did you feel kind of playing in a little differently today?
Yeah, I felt good today. So also he gave me assist, so I'm glad. It doesn't matter who is on the pitch, you know. Like we are every day in the training, fighting for the first 11. So everybody who is in the first 11, we need to show up every game. We need to show that we deserve this place, and we need to win. That's it, you know. Sometimes you can play bad football, not good for the fans, but in the end, the most important are 3 points, you know.
What balance do you give the team? You know, we're halfway through the season, things have improved, but how do you see it?
How I see it, for me, the placement in the table doesn't show how good is this team, how good is this group. We have also a lot of new players. I know it's not an excuse, but we need to spend a little bit more time to know each other better, and I will not change this team for nobody. You know, I think this team has a lot of quality. I know we start the season in a bad way, but sorry, that's my phone. But yeah, we still have a time, and we still have a room to show that we deserve more, and the fans deserve more, and that's as I said before, that's the most important thing, to end up the season in the playoffs. And you know how it is in the playoffs. Every game and every minute and every goal on the pitch counts. So I promise we're gonna do everything to be in the playoffs.
You talk about the players, and you guys have an important piece back, which is Anali. What does that mean to you as his teammate, and just to have him back?
I can't say this word, but great. This guy is. It's a typical dangerous winger who can go 1-on-1. He's so fast. He has a lot of good skills, and I think he showed this when he came here. But unfortunately, he got really, really serious injured. Now we are so happy that we can have him back. And I'm sure that he's gonna help us a lot in this season.
Seba, some games you start, right? Some games you come off the bench, but you know, how do you manage that? You know, personally, you go out there and today you start and you get a goal. How comfortable are you with your role?
That's a tough one. No, I think I will not surprise you if I will say that I don't like to be on the bench. It's normal. We are players. Everybody wants to be on the pitch, so I want to start every game. But the decision is not on my side. So I am just trying to do everything during the week to show the coaches, the staff, that I'm ready, and that's it. You know, it's difficult. We have a lot of good players. You have only 11 spots in the first 11. So sometimes you need to just be quiet and work hard, because maybe today you are on the bench, but in 7 days there is a new opportunity, and you need to be ready. You know.
So you scored your first goal of the season. Just what does that mean to you? I know it's kind of sweet and how do you say that? Bittersweet. What does it mean?
I know it's a little bit late for the first one in the season, but yeah, I'm glad. I'm grateful, and it's mean a lot for me. But I know there is still a place to improve. In football now, you just need to make numbers. I mean, assists and goals. Everything else doesn't matter. Even if you play good, the people don't remember about you. So, yeah, I'm happy. I think a little bit of the pressure goes out because I was waiting for this moment, and I hope so that I will continue in this way.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
You can come this